Welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, as we take an inside look at Nicholls State University hoops. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, the official sports medicine provider of Nicholls Athletics. Colonel Basketball Weekly is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. Hello and welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I am your host, Mike Wagenheim. Welcome to the program. Got a packed show for you today as we head down the stretch run of the Southland Conference season. Looking to stay in the hunt for the program's first ever conference championship, the Nicholls women's basketball team went for its 7th consecutive victory as the Colonels hosted Northwestern State last Wednesday night. During the school record win streak, the Colonels had been lights out, shooting 46% from the field, including a 43% clip from three-point range, while holding opponents to 39% from the field and 30% from downtown. But Northwestern State was the last team to defeat the Colonels, starting out league play red hot. They had been cooling off lately, though, dropping 4 of 5 on their way to Thibodaux. Here we go to Stouffer Gym. Freshman Tia Charles, a one-woman show early on, scoring the Colonels' first dozen points. She hits the three in the opening minute here. Tia finished up with 16 points. The Colonels built an 8-point lead, but NSU got back to it midway through the half. Keisha Lee paced the Lady Demons with 16 points, went 7 of 16 from the field, the only player for her squad to score more than a half dozen. With the lead down to 3, Hope Pulowski misfires, but Charles collects the rebound, and Pulowski gets another crack at it. It was Hope's only bucket of the game, but she contributed elsewhere, 9 rebounds and 6 steals. This made a 7-0 run for the Colonels. Senior Jenny Nash torching the Nets during this win streak, shooting 56% from downtown. She goes 5 of 10 in this one. That 3 extended the lead to 14 points late in the half. Nicholls closed out the period with a trifecta of threes. Imani White had 9 points off the bench. The Colonels drop in 10 bonus balls on the night. Third time they've done that this year. They go up 30-13 at the break. NSU made just 15 of 58 from the floor, 1 of 6 from three-point range. Janelle Perez there with the steal and the layup. She's averaging nearly 20 points in conference play. The second half, though, much of the same for Nicholls. The lead swelling to 37-15 just 3 minutes in. Despite the Colonels going on a 5-minute scoring drought, the matchup zone just too much for NSU to handle. Nash with the board and Akaya Gray with a finish there. The win snapping a 3-game skid for the Lady Demons head-to-head against Nicholls. Shea Arnick scoring inside there for 2 of her 9 points. Nicholls would dominate this game in every single way. Nash recorded her 4th double-double of the season with team highs of 17 points and 10 rebounds. That 3 from the corner pushed the lead to 19 midway through the half. The Colonels out-rebound NSU by 16. They hold the visitors to 26% shooting. This was a rout in every sense. The final score, 59-40, not truly indicative of just how dominating Nicholls was. They extend the streak to 7 straight. The Colonels improved to 10-3 in league play, while Northwestern State falls to 8-6. Well, that would set up a major showdown on Saturday at Stephen F. Austin. Despite the streak, the Colonels had been stuck in 3rd place in the Southland standings, chasing Lamar and SFA, but the Lady Jacks beat Lamar the next night, meaning the matchup in Nacogdoches on Saturday would be with 1st place on the line in a game featuring the Southland Conference's 2 longest winning streaks. SFA had won 6 straight going in. The Johnson Coliseum. Jenny Nash entered as the SLC's leader in three-pointers, three-point percentage, and average minutes played, trying to help her club take down the defending co-champs. She'd need some help. Tia Charles with a baseline jumper took Nicholls over 3 minutes to score. Charles was on her way to a dozen points. Nash with the first of her 4 bonus balls. The Colonels hit 9 on the day. That one made it a 2-point deficit. Nicholls, though, struggled, shooting 29% in the first half. Under 3 minutes until the half, Shea Arnick with a mid-range jumper. She chipped in 10 points. Colonels within 1 possession. Nicholls closed out the half on an 8-0 run and went in trailing by a point. Imani White drills a 3. She was one of 4 players to reach double figures in scoring with 10. The surge would continue after the intermission. Following the break, Nash connected on a 3-ball on the first possession. Charles adds another here. Nash capped a 17-1 run with another 3-pointer, giving Nicholls a 30-22 advantage. Colonel defense held SFA without a field goal during a 10-minute stretch, which extended into the second half, but the Lady Jacks hit back. Coming out of a timeout, SFA answered with an 8-0 run to tie the game. They then gained control midway through the half. Taylor Ross with a tray, and then the steal by Brittany Matthews and the fast break bucket to keep SFA out in front. But Nicholls replies. Charles buries it from the corner to square the game at 37. The Colonels came to play. They trailed by just one midway through the second. That, however, before SFA goes on a 6-0 run. Taylor Ross with a helper to Portia Roberts, who leads the Southland in field goal percentage. She had 17 points, 12 boards, and 2 blocks in this one. Colonels go down 8 before White drives and finishes. It's a 2-possession game with 8:20 to play. Nicholls back down 8. Tia Charles keeping them in it with another 3-ball. She went 3 of 4 from downtown. The red and gray, though, did not have an answer for Roberts. The post feed here from Charisma Alexander, and Roberts lays it in, putting SFA up 6 with 6 minutes to go. The Lady Jacks first in the league in assists, averaging over 15 a game. The deficit is back at 8 before White connects on the step-back jumper inside the 2-minute mark. Nicholls stayed within a few possessions. Unfortunately, could never quite close the gap. Even after Arnick banks home a 3, the Colonels still trail by 5 with 46 seconds left. This game would end on a Portia Roberts block. The Lady Jacks stay atop the standings with a 68-59 decision. SFA winning their 7th consecutive game. They stay a game ahead of Lamar with the loss. Nicholls falling to 14-11 overall, 10-4 in conference. They drop 2 games behind SFA as they see their program record 7-game winning streak come to an end. Jenny Nash leading Nicholls in the setback, 18 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, and 3 steals. So here are the Southland Conference women's basketball standings heading into this weekend. Stephen F. Austin and Lamar battling for the crown, but the Colonels still have a shot too. Abilene Christian, meanwhile, making a late season surge. They're ineligible for the postseason, however. Houston Baptist would be the last team to qualify for the league tourney if the season ended right now. Meanwhile, Sam Houston State and Southeastern Louisiana are sliding out of the postseason picture. On Thursday, the Colonel women's basketball team will visit New Orleans, and then it's on to McNeese State on Saturday. Listen to both games on KNSU 91.5 FM, and you can watch Saturday's matchup with the Cowgirls on ESPN3. Big week of hoops coming up on the heels of last week's roller coaster ride.
Well, highs and lows, obviously. One extreme to the next. Great effort against a really good Northwestern team, and we fought hard, and the outcome was a very surreal and exciting moment for the program and program's history. And at least for one day, we were in the standings at second. And then obviously disappointed Saturday, but I don't even know if disappointing describes it as much as, you know, it was a situation where we are going to grow and we're going to learn from this. And we've told the team all week going into this game, for this week, we call this week, this past week, very epic. And we had a very, a strong outcome on Thursday. And on Saturday, even though we didn't get the outcome, I think it was still a situation where that word epic is applicable, because we were prepared for that game, and now we're prepared to overcome the outcome of that game. And don't count us out of anything, because we're ready.
You're still only 2 games out, 4 left to go here, so still in the running for the championship. How do you lift yourself back up now heading into this next week of play?
It's about only what we can do better. And we already have reviewed film, and we talked about it, and it was in the details. You know, any team at any level at this point of the season, or at the end of any season in athletics, it's going to be about the details and your ability to focus and just rise above. And we've expressed to the team, if you stay consistent at this point of the season, in actuality, you're settled. So it's going to be our ability to, after every game, win, lose, or draw, we have to take it to another level, not be consistent. I don't think complacent is quite the right way to put it, because the team really is fighting. But if we even decide we're going to be consistent and this is good enough, it's not. We're settling, and we have to keep taking. That's just how we're talking to them. And it's always going to be a battle. You fight the good fight, and at the end of the day, do what you can do, control what you can control, and if we control who we are, I really believe we can control our own destiny and love the outcome.
I think what we saw on Saturday is that your club proved that at its best, you can beat anybody in the South.
Great analogy. And Mike, we could have done a lot of things better within our own. We had some breakdowns on defense. We got away from the scout on defense and gave them some easy buckets. Also offensively, we were not as fluid as we needed to be within our spacing and just decision making. But that's all something, again, we will grow from. We are going to look at this, we're going to own our mistakes, and I think in the end, that's going to make us stronger. I told them after that game on Saturday that before the game, I told them, I said, win, lose, or draw in this game, I'm going to love you just as much. And then after the outcome, I told them, you can assure yourself that something positive is going to come out of this, and that's what it's going to be. We're going to fight harder than ever now.
You got UNO coming up on the docket. They're not the pushover they were last year. They won some games this season, improving. What's it going to take to pick up that W?
Well, it's going to be, UNO's playing so feisty right now. You're so right, Mike. And they're a team that has been in every ball game. We're going to play it on their court, and to win that ball game, we can't get caught up in any kind of circumstances. I've said forever, this game of basketball is a game of runs. UNO will go on some runs. We have to sustain them. We have to limit them and make sure our runs outrun them, because it's going to be a dogfight on Thursday.
Coach, can't wait to see it. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
The head coach of the Colonels, Doobie Plaisance, folks. We'll be back with more Colonel Basketball Weekly presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional right after this.
In sports, you strive for first or best. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional is both. The region's first comprehensive sports medicine program with a team of the best sports medicine trained experts. You're serious about the game, we're serious about your safety. With advanced concussion testing technology and certified athletic trainers, we're keeping athletes safely in the game. Play hard, play to win. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional will help you play it safe.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for.
At People's Health, we know that when it comes to health, what works is teamwork. Each People's Health Plan member has a team of talented professionals working together to coordinate care so our members can do what they love to do.
That's what we do. We're here for you with People's Health.
People's Health, your Medicare health team.
You may not know this yet, but you've stumbled upon something great. With your first steps onto this campus, you'll definitely notice something special. We're going to turn your education into an experience, and we're going to find your passion, and with it, create endless possibilities. But you found more than just a university. You found a campus of believers, a campus of personal cheerleaders, investors, and dream makers. You found Nicholls State University. Welcome home, Colonels.
Coming back to you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Folks, the Nicholls men's basketball team visits McNeese State on Saturday and New Orleans on Monday. You can hear both games on KQKI 95.3 FM. Saturday's contest with the Cowboys will air on ESPN3 and ESPN Australia. Now, this Colonel program has a long, proud history of Aussie players coming through, including the likes of Anatoly Bose, Ryan Bathy, Stefan Blazinski, and more. That tradition continues today and has expanded now to neighboring New Zealand. Here's Joanna Ducree.
Adapting to a new environment halfway around the world can be challenging. But for a number of student athletes from the Pacific Rim have come to this small town in Louisiana, enduring the hardships to be a part of the Colonel basketball program. Zach Young, a guard from Wellington, New Zealand, along with forwards Liam Thomas and Sam Macbeth from Sydney, Australia, all accepted the opportunity to join the Colonel program with a long history of Aussie stars. They've had to adapt to the American style of play and major differences in the sports culture.
A lot of the troubles was because this is the first time I played college basketball, so there are some minor rules that are different. Like back home, I can't catch the ball in the backcourt, otherwise it's a backcourt violation, but here you can run back and it's fine.
The college sports is a lot different. In Australia, there's not that much emphasis on sports in school and stuff. So after high school, sport kind of stops and goes into clubs, but in America, sport continues through school.
While Thomas, a sophomore, and Macbeth, a junior, are established starters, Young, a walk-on freshman, worked his way into the lineup and ran the point for each of the team's wins this season. Unfortunately, Young suffered an injury a couple of weeks ago, but is facing this obstacle head-on as he prepares to return for next month's Southland Conference tournament.
I landed on it bad, and they said that at first they just treated it as like a knee sprain, and so it's been like a week and a bit, and I feel like I can do some running and stuff. And I just got my MRI back, and they pretty much said I tore my MCL, and I've got a microfracture, and obviously it's a setback, but it's whatever. It could have been worse.
While sidelined for the moment, Young has realized what others that have come before him have, that the Nicholls basketball program can take young men from overseas and help them become more versatile and well-rounded individuals, overcoming adversities and working together as a single unit toward a common goal with individuals of various backgrounds is not necessarily something they would experience at home.
Of course I miss being in Australia, but I feel I'm being productive over here, and this is what I'm meant to be, and it's where I'm meant to be.
This program has helped me grow up. I came over here a little bit older than most guys. I was still kind of immature, you know. This is a program where you turn from a child to a man very quickly because there's no other option. There's no option for whinging and moaning and all sorts of stuff. And that might not sound like, wow, let's go to this program, but it's something that you need, you know what I mean? A lot of people go through life and they turn into adults, but they're not really adults, you know what I mean? Like that's something that I can thank this program for. It's a tough, and I was warned when I said it's a tough program. I said, yeah, whatever, you know, but it really is, and that has set me up for life.
Things have come full circle as former Cornell standouts Jeremy Smith and Fred Hunter have both signed with Australian professional teams this spring. Smith inked his first pro contract with the South Adelaide Panthers, and Hunter, who started his career in France before moving to Israel, recently joined the Northwest Thunder in Tasmania. The Colonels are now in their second year of a unique partnership with ESPN Australia, with select Nicholls games airing in the Pacific Rim, allowing the likes of Macbeth, Thomas, and Young to showcase their talents half a world away. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, this is Joanna Ducree.
Thank you so much, Joanna. Folks, the Nicholls men's basketball team had a bad go of it in Nacogdoches, Texas this century. Nicholls had not won at Stephen F. Austin since the 2000-2001 season. Been a long time. The Lumberjacks off to an 11-1 start in conference play this year. The Red and Gray certainly were the underdogs in Saturday's matchup at the Johnson Coliseum. Nicholls looking to bounce back from a difficult loss to Southeastern in which they let an 11-point lead slip away. They held their own in this one, battling through a back-and-forth opening half and took a 3-point lead at the 8-minute mark on this Richie Lewis layup. But SFA would reply with an 11-0 run. Clyde Giffard was a monster off the bench, scoring 20 points. The dunk here puts Nicholls down 8. SFA got 43 points off the pine. Colonels hanging around, though. TJ Carpenter with the offensive board here and the putback. The team's leading scorer this year registered a dozen points on Saturday. Final 3 minutes and a half, Luca Camber hitting one of his 2 bonus balls here, and that would pull Nicholls within 5. Now, fortunately, the Jacks scored the final 6 points in the period. So the Colonels go down double digits early in the second half, but a nice sequence here. Liam Thomas with the layup. He spent much of the night in foul trouble, recording 6 points and 3 boards. Wouldn't take him long, though, to get his next bucket. Sam Macbeth with a steal, leading the break. Richie Lewis collects one of his career-high 6 assists. He also scored a team-high tying 13. But the deficit here would balloon to 15 with this Ty Charles hoop. The helper from Giffard, the margin would hover around 20 for most of the stretch run. Macbeth scored 11 points, added a team-high 5 boards. He connects from the corner here, but Nacogdoches remains cursed territory for the Colonels as they fall 86-71. Nicholls shot 50% from the field, 46% from downtown, 75% at the line. It was one of their best shooting nights of the year, but turnovers had a huge impact on the game as SFA recorded 31 points off of 19 Colonel turnovers. SFA 34-1 in their last 35 league games. Now, believe it or not, though, the Jacks are still not in first place. Let's take a look at the Southern Conference standings through this past weekend. Sam Houston State held on to the top spot. They've won 8 straight now, but SFA obviously isn't going anywhere. Northwestern State is rolling, while Lamar is making a push for a first-round bye in the league tournament. The top 4 teams get that bye on opening day. Abilene Christian started the league 3-0. They haven't won since. Well, we're going to take a timeout here. Much more coming up around the bend. Stick with us. News coming up from around Nicholls Athletics when we continue on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Back here with you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. We move away from hoops for just a moment. This past week saw plenty of good news from around Nicholls Athletics. Beatrice Beard has our Colonel Roundup.
The Nicholls women's track and field team peaked at the right time as they headed to the Southland Conference Championships in Birmingham, Alabama. While right here in Louisiana, the baseball team has had success getting hot early on. The women shattered the record book by setting 22 personal bests and 3 school standards at the championship last Monday and Tuesday. Karanika Duncan was the top finisher at the meet by coming in second in the triple jump. Another strong performance came from senior Tessity Carruthers, who finished 6th in the mile. The senior has had an outstanding career and believes that the success the Colonels had motivates the team to continue to do better.
Everybody from freshmen to seniors are breaking records or getting PRs. It's just like definitely a step in the right direction. It was just the beginning, like indoor was just the beginning, and I think we're going to see quite a few records broken and like definitely some big PRs this season.
The baseball team found success opening weekend, taking a series from Stony Brook, an America East favorite, but it didn't stop there. A midweek matchup with number 2 LSU in Baton Rouge resulted in a 6-3 Colonel victory. The Colonels got a 4-inning shutout performance from senior righty Ryan Deems and a save from Stuart Holmes. Seth Stevens led the team offensively, going 2 for 5 with a double, triple, and 2 RBIs. The team registered 12 hits from 9 different players. The Colonels are back at home for a 4-game set against Utah beginning Friday night. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Beatrice Beard.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Beatrice. Again, some great news going on around Nicholls Athletics. Folks, you can find us at our social media outlets, a great way to keep up with all 14 of our athletic programs here at Nicholls. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Check us out every single day. Folks, we're going to take our final timeout, come back and wrap things up here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, right after this.
In sports, you strive for first or best. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional is both. The region's first comprehensive sports medicine program with a team of the best sports medicine trained experts. You're serious about the game, we're serious about your safety. With advanced concussion testing technology and certified athletic trainers, we're keeping athletes safely in the game. Play hard, play to win. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional will help you play it safe.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for.
At People's Health, we know that when it comes to health, what works is teamwork. Each People's Health Plan member has a team of talented professionals working together to coordinate care so our members can do what they love to do.
That's what we do. We're here for you with People's Health.
People's Health, your Medicare health team.
You may not know this yet, but you've stumbled upon something great. With your first steps onto this campus, you'll definitely notice something special. We're going to turn your education into an experience, and we're going to find your passion, and with it, create endless possibilities. But you found more than just a university. You found a campus of believers, a campus of personal cheerleaders, investors, and dream makers. You found Nicholls State University. Welcome home, Colonels.
Back here with you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. It's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's Colonel catcher Christian Correa. The senior batted .400 with 3 RBIs in 4 games, including wins over LSU and North Florida. Folks, for all the latest on Nicholls Athletics, check out our official website, GoColonels.com. That's G-E-A-U-X, GoColonels.com. We have updates on games, bios, rosters, everything you need to follow all of our programs is right there. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. We will talk to you again next week as we head into the home stretch of the Southland season. We'll talk to you then. Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, the official sports medicine provider of Nicholls Athletics. This program has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.